Kaine is not an artificial intelligence, and here's why it probably should have been clarified earlier. But I know he confirmed that he is AI. But as soon as this thought came up, I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I decided to write down my theory, even if it's too much speculation. I really like psychology and studying how people work. This and the uncanny valley are my two Roman empires. This played a role in why I believe that Kaine is not an artificial intelligence. So far, even with today's technologies, we cannot create a robot or AI that would look or act like a human without going into the uncanny valley. Most of you probably know, but if you don't know, the uncanny valley is a feeling when something is almost human, but not quite. This applies not only to people, but also to everything we are familiar with. For example, to cats and dogs. Kaine successfully overcomes the uncanny valley and feels real, feels human. Now, before you say that they have the technology to put people in this digital world, they could develop a realistic AI. Whatever code was created for this world, it is advanced, but at the same time quite old. You can see that the flower pot crashes into the floor at the beginning. How the world is depicted, this kind of shames the animators. It's simple and often used shortcuts. For example, in the musical theme, the line "day by day" is copied and pasted instead of being animated twice. Also, very quickly, I want to say that he has no all-seeing eyes. This is obvious from the fact that he does not know Kaufmo abstracted until he returns "Remember from the Void." Here are some timestamps when Kaine made a human mistake or decision, as well as a brief explanation of what is happening in the clip and why I believe that this suggests that he is not a highly developed AI. 207. In a conversation with Remember, Kaine says, "You, my friend, stumbled upon an incredible world of wonders, where anything can happen." Here Kaine stutters, which is quite difficult to program, because for this, you will have to encode the AI to determine when someone is embarrassed or in a situation when he stutters. And as many of you know, even today's technologies cannot program AI so that it correctly experienced or determined emotions and morality. 228. Remember asks Kaine how she can leave. All he says is type of stuttering, and freezes. You can argue that he froze because his program did not know how to react, but isn't this one of the first questions that someone asks after they have been placed here? It is well known that in such situations, or when a person is confused, he always asks at least one question: who, what, where, why, when, how. So why did the programmers have enough knowledge to program Kaine with emotions, but not an answer to the basic question that is guaranteed to be asked? 338. When Remember conducts a tour, he presents a tent saying, "Here are your living quarters, as well as all sorts of other activities. These actions may include..." And then he glitches or stalls. I don't know how to explain it correctly. Now, it seems like a little information was deleted, why he glitches. But what will this information be? This is just a very strange time for glitches. The way he first starts saying that these actions may include is very similar to that medical ad where it says that side effects may include, but then goes back to his announcer voice. Cut out the glitch and listen. It doesn't sound right. These two tones do not match. Not only could this be called a mistake, but also how as if he knew that a failure was about to happen. 412. Kaine shows Remember the Void during her tour and says, "Even I don't know what's there," during a sudden character break. They say that such things can be programmed if only all the introduction was not written according to the script. But again, look how many people have come here. How many people had to conduct a tour. He undoubtedly did this before, and adding this sudden character break can make him laugh a little. Or more likely, it can give him an idea of the personality of the new character based on how he reacts. In psychology, there are many such things where a simple question or unexpected action and the subsequent reaction can tell a lot about a person. April 420. We all know the scene with the moon. "Hello, Kaine, I love you." Firstly, this is very unexpected. and it quite corresponds to how AI would act if it was coded to be in love. Now after this, Kaine quickly drives Remember away, saying, "Let's get out of here before the moon gets frisky." If the moon is an AI, it probably would have a certain number of replicas, and I'm sure he's heard them many times before. What did you guys think when he said Fursky? Was it flirting or something more adult? Well, there wouldn't be any thought-provoking things here. It's a family TV show. Maybe he doesn't want to talk to the moon because when AI is in love with you, when you know it's AI, it's like having a boyfriend or girlfriend but knowing they're with you just to get closer to their real love. If he had stayed to hear the moon's caress, it would have hurt him because it's all artificial. 4:36. After returning to the tent with Remember, she feels sick, and Bubble comes to clean up the mess, as a result of which Kaine looks at them with disgust and says, "Why are you like this?" He seems a mix of disgust and dislike. I would like to note that these volatile emotions are what initially repelled me. You have a Bubble and a moon that have a certain personality and stick to it. Bubble is always bubbly and the moon is flirtatious. Kaine, however, switches from announcer to glitchy to disappointed. It's hard to tie him to one mood or image. You can program a character to have a certain personality, but at the same time, you limit his range of emotions. And the key thing in these dressed personalities is the predictability. You never know when Kaine will accidentally break character or just do something impulsively. 4:36. After returning to the tent with Remember, she feels sick, and Bubbly comes to clean up the mess, as a result of which Kaine looks at them with disgust and says, "Why are you like this?" He seems a mix of disgust and dislike. I would like to note that these volatile emotions are what initially repelled me. You have a Bubble and a moon that have a certain personality and stick to it. Bubble is always bubbly, and the moon is flirtatious. Kaine, however, switches from announcer to glitchy to disappointed. It's hard to tie him to one mood image. You can program a character to have a certain personality, but at the same time you limit his range of emotions. And the key thing in these dressed characters is the predictability. You never know when Kaine will accidentally break character or just do something impulsively. 4:55. After Remember opens the exit door and Jax and Zubul respond, the camera moves to Kaine, who watches Bubble as they lick Remember's vomit. Coming out of a trance, he says, I clears throat. Assure you that no magic exit door exists. And again, stuttering, but also his delay. Just like us, he was listening to his environment, but was focused on one thing. When someone says something in such a situation, there is a delay, "Oh shoot, yes, I have to answer," or something like that. It catches you off guard. Something, again, cannot be programmed into AI. And that's all. The continuation will be in the next video.